Let me log in. And I will say this is the component folder which I created on that day, and I'm clicking on API scan. I hope everybody remember the day we were creating these test steps, right? So now let's, all you need to do is, okay, and now there is a change in the this key that we use. So let me copy this key and replace it here. Okay, and now I'm just running and verifying everything is fine. So run this. Yes, I got my things. Now run this. Yes, I got my things. Then and now go run this. Yes, and now go run this. Yes. So everything is working fine. So once we are done, see here, for creating this is we created manually. Sometimes what the other way to create is actually, okay, let me create one new folder. Okay, the other way to do is there are actually two other ways also. One is sometimes you may have some XML files which are given by your developers instead of all this. Then you can directly say scan the file. Okay, and you can scan that appropriate file. And the other way is sometimes what developers do is they will give us the Swagger UI details. What is this Swagger UI means? This is the place where you can see all the API calls and all. Okay, for suppose now, see, this is my Swagger UI. Actually, this is the place where I can see the all these details. See, so all I need to do is copy this and come back here and just say URI and enter that URI and say OK. That's all, nothing else. Okay, okay, it is not present. Let me, I need to change this. 1 second. I think I should take up this. URI and enter that and say OK. Yes. So see now, after entering that, I got all calls over here. Coffee, data, employee files. These are different things. We just explored coffee, right? In the same way, if you see coffee here, see again in coffee, these are the different requests that we have. All this came up here. You can either pick them up in this way or else you can manually create and use it. In real time, most of the times we will be doing this way. Okay, but you have these options also. I just want to show you. Is it clear? Here also the same. If you say here, right? See, get. And here you have to pass the key that you want to add in. Okay, so all that you do is the key that you have generated last time. This is the one. Control C, and you will be passing it over here and just say run. See, the same. Okay, is it clear to everybody? Tarun, Kranti Kumar, Krishnaveni, Nidhi, Sairam.
Ramya, why we are creating API through component folder? Can't we have the standard module like the other Excel things or files thing?
In the earlier versions of Tosca, API used to be standard modules only. But later they came up with this API scan and all. I remember when I was working in 2015 and all, I used to create all these API calls using standard modules like database and all. You will have a folder in that called API, and there you used to drag and drop the standard modules.
Okay.
Yeah. So is it clear till here, everybody? I want you to respond yes or no at least. Today is your last day of the class.
Yes.
Okay. So now after done, just select the test cases, whatever you want to export. So here I am selecting these four. Okay. Delete, get, post, put. So all these four. What I do is I'll just select this folder. Okay. And I will just say here there is an export option. See, this is the one. Tosca export you can see here, right? So where do you want to export this? If you want to export it into the Tosca commander, just click on this. So see now it is saying changes are not allowed. Okay. I did not check out the API. So that is the reason it throwed me that error. Okay, let me check it out. Come back here and the same way. So minimize this. See, everything has been created here. Modules, test cases and all. See, and now what I will do is I'll create four test cases. Four. One is for get, one is for post, another one is for put, last one is for delete. Okay, and I'll delete all the unnecessary ones. Okay, so now if you see every test case has two test steps in it. One is request, another one is response. And if you see, usually, how do the normal test cases have act like they have some details, test configuration, and control flow diagram. But if you see the API ones, they have an additional tab here that is nothing but technical view. And if you click on it, this view is nothing but the view which we used to see in our API scan. Okay. And now the next thing is how do we parameterize this? We have to parameterize these API calls, right? Because every day it won't be the same call. Like every day I won't be using the same service key. Or else every day I won't be adding the same Oreo coffee over there. Sometimes I need to change the names and all. So parameterizing these APIs is also very important. Let us take this post request. Here we have two details that we have to parameterize. One is ID, another one is name, another one is description. So click on this post request module and just say add here. See, here you have three add. After clicking on add, there are three options. One is add attributes with dynamic list items, another one is static list items, and the final one is attribute assistant. Just open this attribute assistant. And then if you can see, all the parameters which can be parameterized are shown up in this attribute assistant window, and you have to select the parameters which you want to parameterize. Now I want to parameterize ID, name and description. That's all. So select those three and just say add here. That's all. And see now, this one has got these three parameters. And if you go to post request now, see these three parameters are there. If you are passing any new data, this one will pick up the latest data that you pass. If you don't pass any data and if you try to run it, it will run with already existing data that is present. Similarly, from the response, how do you know that your API call is successful? That day I said you, how do we know that our API call is successful?
200K response.
Yes, the status code. For that, again, you have to parameterize it, right? So just to say add here and see status code, just add it. Okay. And now let's see here. Post. This time I'm adding a different one. So 44, and I'll give the name as Ramya, and I will give the description as Samtoska. And then in the response, what if you see here for the APIs, what is the action mode I'm using? Insert. It is not input. Please remember, this is insert for APIs. Okay. And post response. Okay. For the post request, what is the response? I need to verify whether I got 200 okay or not. If you click on this small drop down, see here you will have all status codes. Among this, you have to select 200 okay, and the action mode is verified. It came up by default. Now let me run this request. So I'll just say right click and run in Scratch. See, it has run successfully. Verification was successful. 200 okay. Now let's just run the get request over here, because so that we can see it more clearly, right? So I'm just running it, and this is the response. Let's go down and see. See, the ID is added over here. Is it clear? The same way you have to parameterize for the get, put and delete also. For the get response, let's see what are the attributes that you can add. So say open attribute assistant and see it has name, description, ID for all of them. So select these three parameters and along with the status code and just say add. And now if you see here for the get, okay, see it falls under item. Under the item drop down you have ID, name, description. So and for this is the request. Okay, let's go back here and see, uh, and let's 1 minute, one thing over there. And if you look at the cardinality for this item, see what is the cardinality? 1 to n. This is because, you know, it knows that item is nothing but these nodes. one node, right? And we know that there are multiple nodes that we need. So that is the reason by default it changed the cardinality to 1 to n. But coming to the other parameter, see what is the cardinality? 0 to 1, but only for description, but only for the item it is 1 to n. Sorry, I am showing you the wrong one. If you see for the status code, it is 0 to 1. But if you look at the item, it is 1 to n. Okay. Now I will show you. Get is something complex, right? So let us see. Forget what is the status code? 200. Okay. You have to verify that. And then what is that you have to do with this ID? You have, let's say, like buffer these details. Okay. Buffer it with ID and then say buffer it with name, buffer it with description. Okay. And now the item that we are going to use is first one. Let's see. I just said hash one. Let us see if it works. Test cases run as it throwed me an error. There are 11 items found. Among these, what is the one that you need to go for? I'll go here to this get response item, and here we give the explicit name as true already. Hash one is correct only, right?
But hash one is represented per table now, so I think it's getting confused. I think we should leave item only.
Yeah, but actually here also the explicit name is by default set to true if you see. So that is the reason I used hash one. Let us see. Here also they used a similar concept. See, they kept some repetition and they said that index double equals to. Okay, let us try that. But index double equals to is same as this one only. Okay. It ran successfully now, anyways. I think, but see, it got me all these details also when I say double equals to. But what I am thinking is, why is it not picking up the hash? Okay. 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 Leave it. Anyways, it is working with this index double equals to property. So let's use that. Let's item. Every time these people will give so many updates. Okay. So then it works and I will just run it. Any questions? Any doubt? No? Okay. Cool. So this is all about API testing. Okay. And the next thing which I want to discuss is about DEX configurations. When we are talking about DEX configurations, what is this DEX? Why do we need to configure and all? Means usually DEX is nothing but the distributed execution. Okay. That means if you look at the internal architecture of Tosca, right? One second. I will just open some articles for us. Yes. Yeah. I think, yes. If you look at this diagram over here, see, we all know that we are having some server and we will be acting as the agents to that and all, right? So in the same way here, if you look at this diagram here, see, on this server, like we will have a master over here and we will be having this server, and this server here is the Tosca distribution server, and this Tosca distribution server will be dividing all the work between the agents. Okay, this is a different one. That RDP is nothing but remote desktop one. So forget about this part now. So just look at this one. So what is this server do is it will distribute all these things equally among these three. So why do we need this distributed execution and all is actually see whenever we are having our test cases and all, right? People prefer to execute them unattendedly, like there should be no human being intervention in between them. There should be no control given to us. That is the most preferred way for automation and all, right? Now you are saying that you automated your test cases and all, but who is running them, who is triggering them? It's you, right? And if you want, can you pause your execution? Yes, you can click on that pause button over here and you can pause it and you can do whatever changes you want and again run it. Right. So this is not an unattended mode of execution. But if you want to achieve this unattended mode, that means there should not be any control on from your side. Okay. So for this, they use this distributed execution and all. And also the CI/CD pipelines concepts and all come up over there. Okay. For this unattended execution, in order to implement this, we can do it using distributed execution server. Okay, so for this distributed execution server, all that you have to do is there are two things actually. One is Tosca agent configuration and another one is by through Tosca server configurations. Okay, one configuration you have to do at your agent machine and the other one you have to do in your particular server machine. What is that you have to do in agent, what is that you have to do in server? Usually the particular client, the clients that you are working with will take care of. This is the actual one. See, okay, see, this is the distributed server. It will be distributing across the agents. And the client configurations, whatever we have to do, right? Those we should be, those are present. Sorry, one second. Yeah, one is agent side configurations and another one is client side configurations. Okay, and coming to the client side configuration, this will be taken care by the onshore team or the team who sets up this entire DEX environment and all. And coming to the agent configurations, we are the one who take care of it as a QA. Okay, these agent configurations, how do we configure our agent and all is just go to the folder that is your C drive first, and then you remember program files cross 86 and then Tricentis folder over here and then Tosca test suite. See, there is a folder for this entire distributed execution. Click on this. And here you will be able to see one agent. Okay, so let me open that. See, this is the one. Tosca distribution agent. And the type of this file would be application. And this is the Tosca distributed agent configuration file. Okay, if you may want to make any changes to these configurations, you can open this in Notepad++ and make the changes if requested, or else you can directly double click on this agent. Okay, and after clicking on this agent, if you see here, I got a icon, a monitor sort of an icon here. See, Tosca distribution agent starting, it says. So now you have to configure this particular distribution agent. Right click over here and see there is an option configure the agent. So click on this configure agent. So now the configuration window for that agent will open up. Let's wait and see. Hmm, yes. See the diagram that they are showing in this article and the one which we have both are same. See here. And this is the place where you give the particular server address provided by your team. Okay. Here I don't have the server address. So let me try with the server address that is present here. So I'll say HTTPS and instead of localhost, I'm replacing it with the server address that they gave me. Try hyphen nb1192 dot tricentis.com colon 444 slash distributed service server service slash communication server service. Okay, and let's just see. See, actually, I am unable to error occurred loading configuration. Okay, I know. Okay, actually, here you should have the proper server. Okay, I'm not having this server. This server you will get it when you have proper Jenkins and proper license and all. So once you enter the server address over here, the next thing that you have to do is go to this configuration machine, and here you should give proper configurations to your particular machine, like automatically these particular fields will be filled up. What is your operating system, what is the laptop name that you have, what is your IP address, all this. So after configuring everything over here, the next important thing that you should do is you should come back to Tosca Commander, and in the execution you will see there are two other tabs. One is configurations, another one is the events. So in the configurations, usually if you right click and say refresh agents, it will show you the number of agents that are connected to this particular server. Here we are not having proper server, that is the reason it is throwing us an error. Okay, or else usually it will reflect the number of machines and all. So now for this, after that you should just check it out. Okay, and right click and create one new configuration, and here for creating the new configuration in the properties, right, you should give the same details. Usually you will get the same details whatever you get it in the options that are present here. The same options will come up, but when you are actually connected to the server and all, so then only the synchronization will be happening. So then you can select the same details. So then how many machines did this configuration reflect if you give the IP address, host name and all? Only one machine, right? Because only your machine is having that IP address. Am I correct? Hello?
But we are giving local host.
But here in the configurations, what you do is you will have an additional parameter, okay, where you will be mentioning the IP address. When we mention, this is nothing but the filter, okay. If you filter saying only one machine, okay, that is laptop 3D7G6117, then what will happen? How many laptops will be there with that name and with that IP? Only one, right?
Yeah.
So, anytime if you want to look at the number of machines that are present in that configuration, right click and here you have an option. See, refresh agents. So, if you press on it, automatically all the machines will come up. For suppose think like all 7 of us are in one server only. Then, if you say refresh agents and only 5 of us has made this particular distributed one up, okay. So we double clicked on it and we made the agent up. So then only 5 machines will show up in the any, and one machine will show up in the particular configuration which I have created. Okay. So this is how we create the configurations and all. And after creating configuration, the next thing that you have to do is create a test event. So right click and create one test event. Okay. After creating this test event, drag the configuration that you have created and drop it in the test event. So what happens? Anything which is running as part of this event should follow these configurations that you have listed out. And then what is that we have to execute? We have to execute some test cases, right? So drag those test cases execution list and drop it in this configuration. So this list should run. You should follow this configuration, and this is whole thing is a part of test event. This is how we usually create the configurations and all from the agent machine side. Agent machine side configurations are the one which are very important because it's you who will be doing it every time whenever you have to run. And from for this execution list, for this combination, this is the event that has been created. And what you do is you will share this particular unique ID of this event. See, there is an ID for this event, right? This ID you will be sharing with the DevOps team that you have, and they will be triggering the run. And here I am unable to show you, but usually what happens is this will be in green color. This monitor inside color, there is some color, right? Gray color now. So this will be in green color usually. And whenever they run it, right, nothing, we cannot control anything. You will not see any progress bar. You will not know how much time it is going to take. Nothing will come up. Okay. Suddenly the execution starts. Suddenly the execution stops. Okay. And whenever the execution is running, it will be in orange color. This whole monitor icon. Okay. And again, once execution is completed, it will turn out to be green color. I think I have this here. Let me see. I'll share you this article also. This is really a good article which I have. Like when you say distributed execution, so many people, there are so many articles that are present. But the one which is correct, like which is, acting a perfect one is this one. So see, until here, like you have to configure this configuration file. These things they gave up already here. And next is like the other workspace which you want to configure as the other ones, those configurations they have given over here. Like, see this server configurations and all. So when somebody asks you about this question in the interviews and all, try to explain the agent side configurations first. Okay. And once you explain this agent side configurations and all, they okay, one thing I will do, I will write a notes for the dex configuration and I will send it to you all across, because for the other people also I should do that. Okay. Today I will prepare a notes on how to answer the text configuration question and I will send it to you. Please just say the same things. Okay, but the whole drama is what I want you to understand. Now you understood, right, what we are actually doing?
Yes.
Okay, this is the main thing that you want to understand. But I will be sending you all these test steps and all in detail. How do you do that and all? And I will give you this article also. Okay, there is some more notes that I prepared for this Dex only. I'll add it and I will send it to you. Okay. But the main important thing, like in real time, if you are working and if you are really doing this Dex runs and all, not every company will do that. Okay, like most of the companies are still setting it up, and they just ask you to test whether you know or not. That's all. This is a mandatory question in all interviews. How do you do the dex configurations? Tell me about dex configurations. They really don't know how do you do. Are you the one who will set up the server and all? No, right? You are the one who is working at the agent side, but still they expect you to answer the server related configurations also. So that is the reason, but actually in real time this is what we do. Okay, because our company, we should run everything in Dex once we complete this. So what we usually do is we will create modules and all, okay, and then create the RTBs, templates, test sheets. Okay, once everything is run in Scratchbook, execute them in the execution list, and then we will create these configurations and events and then run them through the Dex server also. Okay, so please remember this. This is how you do in real time, but in interviews you should not say, you can say this from the agent side, and they expect you from the server side also in the interviews. So that server side configurations I will write it down for you and I will send it to you across. Okay, yeah, any other questions, any doubts? With this all your topics have been completed. And if there are some, I know that there are lots of new topics that you want to know, and Tosca is upgrading every day, and you have to go through a lot. So what I do is, what I'm planning to do with all my next batches and previous batches also, I'm trying to explore the things and I have started bookmarking them into one folder. Okay, like how do you integrate this ALM things? Okay, and how do you do this Jira integrations and all? So I'm bookmarking everything, so I will be sending you all these knowledge based articles, links and all, and I think it will be helpful for you also. Okay,
Okay, Ramya.
yeah. And not only now, in case if you have any doubts in the upcoming months or upcoming years or upcoming days, you can contact me. Feel free to reach me. I'll be on the same number. Okay. And if you have any references, please do let us know. That's all.
Sure, sure, Ramya.
Yeah. And if anybody is applying for any positions and all, do let me know. If required, I will take up a mock interview for you. Okay, first be confident, be well prepared. Like there are lots of openings. I'm not sure about other countries, but in India, yes, we have lots of openings for LTI, Accenture, Cognizant. Okay, Capgemini has openings in Bangalore and Pune locations. Wipro has openings in Chennai, and from yesterday they started hiring for Hyderabad also. Infosys is hiring for contract based roles, that is for 1 year contract. Okay, Virtusa is hiring, Atra is hiring. So there are lots of openings. Do let me know. I may not be able to, refer you to that, but I will be able to give the proper HR contact or something. So you can call them and ask them for scheduling an interview. And if anybody is super confident and like well prepared, then I'll give you the testing experts HR contact also. Even testing experts is a very good company for all the QA people. And for the testing experts, the project that you will be getting into is in a Dubai related project, and you may have a chance to explore Abu Dhabi also if you are selected and the proper things happen. So I can give you that lead contact also. Okay, anything else anybody want to discuss about? Krishnaveni,
Yes, Ramya.
you are the one who attended the interview recently. So, if you don't mind, can you tell others how did they question you and all? Like how the questions were? Are they related to theoretical or how the questions were? Just that's all.
Actually, all are related to our sessions like that only. Nothing new. It's
And
just our
did they ask anything from the real time or only theory?
who's
You were on mute.
they ask real time too. Real
They
time
asked,
videos.
okay. So the recently, whenever I'm talking to different candidates and all, what I heard is like, they're asking the questions from the ones which we are discussing in the class. Like, tell me what is the difference between explicit name and constraint index, or what is the difference between test configuration parameters and business parameters. So all these are nothing but the most of them are the theoretical questions only.
Yeah, they ask that too.
Yes. So what I want all of you is please go through all the videos that you have and do let me know if you have any questions. Okay. Thank you everyone. Thanks for joining. Bye bye.
Bye, Ramya.
Yeah, bye.